Hello, everyone. This is a splash of tea, and we're doing something different during this time. We're having a kind of a congressional series where we're interviewing people running for Congress in the districts that were already created 6 years ago by a bipartisan commission. That bipartisan commission, that agreement by both Republicans and Democrats to take politics out of redistricting was violated this year illegally. And so, what we're doing now is something that the Democrats um, put in almost $90 million to prevent us from doing. They were going to rig this election. And had they been successful, and by the way, it was very close, it was a 4-3 decision in the courts, everything would have changed. Now, some of the people may have still decided to run, but it would have been very, very difficult because the good people that try to get good candidates elected, they certainly would be demoralized because they would see how the election, by looking at the map, how the election was rigged. So this is something that we can appreciate because we almost lost it this year, and we almost lost it at the hands of the Democrats. So that's why these series of interviews are so important. And it's also very important for you to remember when you vote to consider what the Democrats tried to do to our state and to the citizens, many of whom are independents and Republicans, and half of the state would have been disenfranchised if they were successful. So, without further ado, I want to introduce to you a congressional candidate for the 3rd District, Edwin Rivera. Hey, Edwin.
Thanks for having me.
Good. So this is the first time that you ever entered into politics, and running for an office. And
Yes.
even the most grizzled veterans had a very difficult time trying to deal with what was happening this year with the congressional lines being moved, waiting for the courts, hoping that the courts would stop these actions before the vote. How were you involved in any of this? Did you were you basically waiting and seeing how everything was going to play out?
Nope. I just ran into it and I started doing it from the beginning. It was hard because everybody was confused. Getting signatures was quite a quite a project.
Mhm.
Um, People
Uh,
were confused on the districts, and yeah,
yeah. So you just didn't even worry about it because it was out of your hands. You couldn't control it. So you did what you're supposed to do.
God,
And if everything worked out, fine. If it didn't work out, then that's the way it is, I guess.
exactly. I just put everything in the hands of God. That's all I can do.
Well, now, people don't know you, so maybe you could just give an overview of your decision to run based on being a man of faith, and maybe you could talk about what you would be bringing to this campaign and running against Bobby Scott.
That's good. So, funny story. I spent Well, I went through a transition in life where I grew up in poverty, homelessness, like foster care and stuff. And I decided to continue school, became a forensics analyst for the police department in Puerto Rico, decided to leave and join the military, finished, retired, and decided to get involved in my kid's life. And I went to a school board, and that's where I found out that people were they were tampering with our children and trying to implement rules that confuse our children and their education. And I decided to run for school board. And then an opportunity presented itself. I guess somebody was trying to infiltrate the Republican Party from the Democratic Party, something like that. I don't know. And I got involved in it. And I'm like, well, I run in his place since he got outed out. And, it'll be me, but I can only do it if my wife takes the role of school board because, I will like somebody who shares the same code of ethics that I do to replace me. And, she agreed to it. And I started running through this and collecting signatures. And to be honest, like the one thing that got me to run for Congress was the fact that I've seen that Bobby Scott, our representative, he's been in a governmental position for 48 years, consecutively, no breaks, and zero bills. No bill has been created or established by Bobby Scott, and the only thing he does is vote yay or nay, right? And sponsor some bills, or maybe like, some bipartisan bills that they were going to be added on anyway. So with that being said, I think that we need more for congressmen to be doing with the community. Not everybody knows. I walked in the 5 cities of Congressional District 3. Nobody knows Bobby Scott.
Yeah.
Nobody. They just know that he has some crazy barbecues. That's all they know.
That's right. That's right.
And I'm like, how is it that I am walking around, I hear everybody complaining about Bobby Scott, his own friends, people signing my stuff, my petitions, they were friends with them. And I'm like, well, you got to give me a chance. And they gave it to me. I had a lot of friction getting those signatures, though. People were yelling at me obscenities and telling me to go back to my country and stuff. But you know what? God will bless me and forgive them. That's, I enjoyed every moment, and he taught me to be a better man. Um, I want to create policies, to be honest with you. I want to create policies that are going to make it mandatory for congressmen and women to go out there and spend time with their constituent. You got to know what their needs are. Go to the small businesses, and create bills based on that. On the overview that you have of your own district. That will benefit the whole country. Obviously, it's a federal position. I want them to have a minimal time to create one bill. This all I'm doing is because of Bobby Scott. This is what I want to do. I want congressmen and women to actually work for the people instead of the government itself. We're letting Spanberger create all these taxes. She's creating bills. She's stripping us of our rights. Now she's trying to get a tax to charge you a tax for having a weapon in your house. What is going on? Like, we can't even walk your dog without paying taxes. I think that
Right.
overwhelmingly, we should vote Bobby Scott out and encourage other people to vote. We have 875,000 people in our congressional district, 575,000 voters, 206 actually vote on this elections, 36,000 vote Republican. 36,000 out of 206. So all the Democrats are doing their job. Everybody else is just sitting on their hands. So we need to change that. We need to find how to make people vote.
Mhm. Well,
I guess that.
one of the things that they should know is that Puerto Rico is part of America. It's part of the United States.
Yes.
You were born an American citizen. So if
Yes.
anyone says, go back to your country, you would say, well, the United States is my country. The other thing is, that's almost half a century. These people in Congress make a lot of money. And, I talked when I began the interview, I talked about the rigging of the elections. Well, on a smaller scale, the rigging can also occur in the precinct. So there could be a core group of people who get kickbacks, who get nice barbecue food once a year. They don't care. They don't pay attention, but they always will vote for the incumbent. So the other people may or may not vote for the incumbent. They may not vote at all. And
Right.
and so you have those are the hardcore Democrats. Then you have Democrats that are walking away from the party because it's gotten so toxic, so poisonous, so damaging, so threatening to their families and their communities that if they're given another choice, they will vote for that choice because we've seen it over and over again. And then lastly, we have a growing group of people called independents who will vote for the best candidate. So I guess that's your game plan.
Let me tell you about the Democrats. So Democrats don't vote Democrat nor Republican. And the reason they don't vote Republican is because, and this is what was told to me, I don't feel that the Republican Party is doing enough to gain our vote. They want to. They just don't feel like we do enough to gain their trust, to show them that we are actually about the people, not the party. And we have to change that. That is the problem. Like, I was talking to the people that's working with me, and they want me to do things a certain way. And I'm like, if I do it the exact way that you have done it for all these 30 plus years, it's going to get the same outcome. 30%, 30%. I checked all the numbers, and it's always 30 to 34%. That's it. We need to make sure that we let people, Republican, Independent, Democrat, it doesn't matter. You can wear a dog face or whatever. As long as you're an American citizen, we should concentrate on your rights.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of the people now, especially the last 10 years, are changing, are shifting. Blue collar people are saying, what are the Democrats doing for me? They're not doing anything for me. They're making things worse. Bobby
Hmm.
Scott is a great example of that. He's done nothing. He's done nothing except he's voted for damaging things, and he supports the damaging things that his party has done. He's never once
Yeah.
said, "Stop it! Stop raising taxes! Stop going after constitutional rights! You're not supposed to do that! Stop rigging it!" He never said that. So
Well, his replacement is going to be Philip Jones.
yeah. So so for the last 10 years you see blue collar workers leaving. You see parents who are concerned about their children, what they're learning in school, leaving the Democrat Party, or the Democrat Party leaving them. You see people of faith who voted for Democrats saying that this is becoming very dark and they're leaving. You're seeing lots of blacks moving out and say, no, 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 no more. I'm leaving, going back to the party of Lincoln. And then you
Yep.
see the big shift was Hispanics, where the majority of Hispanics voted Republican in the 2024 election, and that pattern has been going in that direction for a while. So you've
Yep.
got a lot of possibilities. Plus, for the superficial people, you don't look like the other candidates that ran against Bobby Scott. They were older and they were white. So
They were asking me that when I was collecting signatures. They're like, "Why is everybody in Congress like they have white hair? Where's the people with the black hair?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm coming in. Give me a chance. Give me a second." But yeah, you're right. A lot of people are switching over to the Republican Party. That is a plus on my side. But we need more numbers. We need like at least 10% more, and then we'll have a fighting chance. But we need to like people needs to understand that this is the party was created for us, was designed for everybody to be equal, and what we're creating is division. Now we're like polarizing our politics. Oh, it's Republican, or oh, it's Democrat, and then we like go around saying, hey, when I get elected, I'm going to take care of my brown people or my black people. That's
yeah,
not how politics work,
no,
especially on the federal level. That's illegal. If you vote for someone because they say I'm going to take care of you because you're black or you're brown, you're doing a disservice to your constituent, to the people in your congressional area. You can't do that. You're lying. So I'm here to change that. I want every piece of accountability ever possibly created. Now I want us to be accountable for everything. I want to be the example and the best congressman this nation has ever seen. That's what I want to be.
no.
I want people to keep me accountable at all times. I told I told Anna, like, you're gonna be busy because you're coming with me, and I'm gonna give them a hotline. They're gonna be calling me, and then that's what's gonna be. And you're gonna have to answer that phone and tell me, hey, this is what they're trying to do. Let's meet up with like we want to meet with leaders of the community. That way, we know exactly what they need, rather than pulling bills out of the thin air and creating this new thing that we think that they need. It's best to talk to people.
Well, there could be a
So that's
backlash. There could be a backlash because of what the Democrats have done in Virginia to the Democrats.
Mhm.
It could be a backlash that actually hurts incumbents, especially incumbents that have been in office forever and done nothing. So
that.
if Bobby Scott were to lose, I will tell you this: that there will not be a big mourning parade of sadness and tears of
Oh
grief,
no, they
because
won't.
nobody knows him. So there has been elections in the last year where people that are unknown rose to the top and beat
Yep,
incumbents. It's happened
that is
all through
true.
the country.
That is true.
So this is very possible. So in your situation, it's a matter of getting people to know that you're running. Do you have any events coming up?
I have events there on my calendar, and that's why I tell people that if they want to plan something, they have to contact our team, because we are planning on going through all 5 cities and just sitting in a place, invite people over, come get to know me, and that way they can get the true me. They can get to talk to me, ask me questions, personal questions, what I think about the politics, the taxes, like let's talk a little bit about these taxes, right? Like we had 570 or 590 million dollars left over from Youngkin, right? Where's that money? So we need to like start regulating how they spend the money in Virginia, and we need to start doing audits on the state, because that money nobody knows where it's at, and we're broke. We spend all these millions of dollars on this redistricting. 90, like you said earlier, like $90 million. Where's that money at? Like, no, we need to restructure Virginia, bring it back to what it was, and reinstate the Constitution. All these rights taken away, we need to like get rid of all that, start from zero. Let's yeah, that's my personal opinion.
Well, I know that the Democrats didn't run on doing all this damage to Virginians. They ran as affordability party and
Yes.
moderate. And good thing they're the party of affordability because they taxed everything to high heaven. And yes, watch out for walking your dog because they might tax that too. But but here's the thing. This governor received the worst rating of any Virginia governor in the history of Virginia. So there is a backlash, and people may actually vote. Some people may actually vote a Republican to send a message to the Democrats. But you know what?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be just a message. Remember that even though this is state issues that we're dealing with, for instance, going after our Second Amendment rights, that also has federal implications. And
Yeah.
that person, the governor and the legislature, can be taken to court. In fact, that's what's happening. They're being taken to court. If we have,
As they should.
that's right. And if we have congressional representation, that certainly will help us because that will explain to the people what crimes are being committed and why you're having to go to court and what kind of threat that the current administration was having against your constitutional rights. So it is
Right.
important because the congressional representation in Virginia will speak to the president and will speak to the congressional leaders on how to deal with an out of control administration.
This is, as a matter of fact, I think that she went from affordability to socialism, like this. Like it's illegal to be comfortable in Virginia. It's illegal to be able to afford your groceries in Virginia. Rent like our great lifestyle went away in one election, and Democrats are fed up. Liberals are fed up. Liberals are keeping liberals accountable. When the port, not the Portsmouth, the Norfolk Greek Fest,
Oh, yes.
when they had it over there, I was collecting signatures, and four ladies were walking by, and the first one asked me, "Oh, what are you getting signatures for?" And I explained her that I was running for Congress, and she's like, "What party?" And I said, "Republican." And she said, "Oh, f that, blah blah blah." And the lady all the way in the back was like, "Oh, wait. So you talk about what did she say? Like something about equality, fairness, and stuff. And you're not gonna sign his petition. I thought you were all about progress. Like, nah, I'm gonna sign it." And she signed it, and the first lady that was making fun of me, came back and signed the petition too. So that's two liberals right there. Like, you gotta be real. If you're gonna preach something, you have to do it too. I love it. It's like things are just falling into place, and I think that God, this is my mission, and
Yes.
and I'm going to stay here until somebody moves me out. Like that's
Well, there's like, well, there's probably more, but there were two main things that the Democrats did when they first came in, made it a priority, which it wasn't a priority with anyone else, but it was a priority for the party. One was to rig the elections, to redistrict
yeah,
it in such a way that incumbent Democrats, it would be very difficult to remove them, no matter what they did. That was the first thing. The second thing was almost as quick, and that is to change, to put into policy that if you're an illegal alien and you commit crimes, that they will move mountains to stop you from being deported. Now, the majority of citizens in this state did not vote for that, and yet that's the second thing that she's done, and that's caused a great problem as far as these criminals that are committing acts of crime, and that's a federal issue, and that's
yeah.
certainly
That is
another reason
something that
why
eighty
they should.
percent,
And I
eighty
know
percent of
Bobby
the
Scott,
population wants it.
yeah,
Eighty
and I know
percent.
Bobby Scott doesn't care about that for some reason. He should because constituents in his district may get harmed by illegal aliens, and there's no paper trail because they're here illegally. We don't know that they're here. So that's something that's very personal, and that's that sticks to the bone to protecting your
Yep.
family and your community and your home.
It it barely got passed, but the Save Act, it was passed by the congressional, the House, but it's stuck on Senate because we need 60 votes. And it'll be your own, right? Even Republicans are like, maybe we should keep out of this. Like, no, we all, either you are on my team or you're not in the team at all. Like we're supposed to be looking out for America. Brings me back to accountability. If 80% of the people wants the Save Act to be passed, why are we stalling?
It's bad. It really is
Like
bad.
what? We're supposed to be working for the people. And what was the other subject? The illegal immigrants coming in here and committing crimes. Like, why are we harvesting? Like, why are we not harvesting? What is the word I'm looking for? Harboring them here.
Harboring, yes. I don't
No,
understand
like
that.
like
I don't know how that's
the
legal.
best way to prevent further crime is to send them back.
And, and,
We don't
and,
need them.
and that's something we all agreed on. Clinton agreed on that. He sent a lot of people back, and he put in more enforcement measures to protect our nation. Obama said
Didn't
the same
Obama
thing.
deport like 6 million
Yeah,
illegal immigrants?
Obama was really good on that. No problem, no lawsuit, no protest, no drama. But now there
Yeah,
is, when we're trying to undo the damage that the Democrats caused by opening up our borders. And goodness knows, we got Chinese of military age by the thousands in here. We have Muslim terrorists all over the place. Our Iranian death squads that are saying we're going to kill the president and his family. We got all of
right.
that, and yet the very people that are responsible for letting them in are doing everything they can to block it, including Virginia.
Which is crazy, right? This is the state of freedom.
It's amazing.
Ah,
And of course, what they do, which shouldn't work, is that when you want to enforce a law that Congress has passed, they break out the race card. Well, they'll have a hard time breaking out the race card against two Puerto Ricans.
right.
So
It's always going to be, and again, it's about polarizing politics.
it is
Like, it
polarized.
should not be about black and white. It should be
No,
about the citizen.
yeah,
If you're a citizen of the United States, you receive the benefits. You harvest the fruits of this nation. Now, if you come from another country, right, and you want to harvest our benefits, right, our resources, that's fine. Come legally, do your thing, go back, or you can swear allegiance to this country, because if you're harvesting the benefits of this country, that means that you believe that this country is great. So if there's a war that happens, you need to be able to lay your life down for this country that you benefit from. I believe that.
yeah. I don't know how the what's the situation is going to be with the Save Act. It may be a live issue when if you get elected to deal with. But the Congress, the House has its house in order. It's the Senate, and the Senate just lost
Then
a vote that was a guaranteed vote for the Save Act when Lindsey Graham died.
well, we need to pass it. That's what I believe. We need to pass it because we call accountability. And do you know what's funny? That Democrats always claim that there is no tampering with the votes, but somehow this is an outreach of government control. No, it's not. Like, we need an ID to get a passport, right? We need social security card, birth certificate. You need a driver's license, an actual valid ID to get a passport. I think it should be as hard to vote as it is to get a passport.
Hmm. Yeah.
That is,
And,
I'm
and,
sorry.
for, and for whatever reason, when the DNC, the Democrat National Committee, has their convention, you need an ID to get in. Now, somehow, for some reason, it's not racist to ask for an ID when you go to the Democrat
Exactly.
National Convention. But the more important thing to vote for your leader in this country, oh, but then we can't have that. That
The moment, the moment I lost the Democratic Party is the moment they said that black and brown need a different standard of education because they don't learn as white and Asian. So we need a sub level of education. I was like, wait, what? Like, you got to be kidding me! Like, and they did it like right there, and they're calling the Republican Party racist
yeah,
while doing that. Except, come on,
yeah,
you got to be kidding me!
yeah,
So yeah, I stand with you, and I promise you that my thing is, I believe in the Constitution, and I believe that we have to protect the Constitution at all costs. It was created to protect us from the government. And somehow the Democratic government, the Democratic Party is always attacking the Constitution. They want to abolish it.
yes.
Why is that? The Constitution protects us from tyrannical government. That is the whole point of it.
That's why they want to get rid of it.
So we have to protect our Constitution.
Mhm.
Just saying. The state constitution is changing every day, but the federal constitution should always remain the same because that is what do you call it? Gradually maintain the local government in check. Like, the government can't out tax you like they're doing here in Virginia right now. We can't afford anything. And did you know that your gas tax is 45% in Virginia?
Yes.
45%. That's added to the 18% on the federal level. Like, we can't afford gas because Virginia keeps, and they have made people in Virginia in our district believe that taxation is great. This is why we are codependent on the federal government. Virginia cannot leave, at least this congressional district cannot live without the help of the federal government. And right now, the federal government is doing drawbacks, so we are facing more poverty than we did before.
Mm-hmm.
Our fault, because we have a congressman that really doesn't care. He's just passing bills and just being there, just sitting down, voting yay or nay, instead
Yes.
of actually like concentrating on bills that will prevent our local government from being tyrannical like they are right now. That's where we at.
Well, here's the thing. Bobby Scott's a Democrat.
Yep.
His vote can really hurt him because his vote, when he voted no on the big beautiful bill, that meant that he was voting yes for the largest tax increase in the history of this country.
Right.
Still coming out of the Biden recession and all that. That's what he wanted. He wanted that increase. And he also supported the open borders because I heard not a peep out of him as hordes of people crossed over the border. And that's part of it. But the other part, the tragic part, is the poison that they brought in, the fentanyl, and then the child trafficking, losing 300,000 kids. Not a peep out of Bobby Scott. That is his party, and his role in that is intimate, and he cannot run from it. So all of these things are things that he needs to be held accountable for. It's just a matter of bringing it up to
Right.
groups of people who don't know
Right.
any of this.
Let me tell you something about the big beautiful the big beautiful bill. Listen, when he voted no on that, the Social Security Administration is bankrupt. We all know it. There's a deficit on the Social Security. And what Trump did, and this is something that I can only applaud him. He made the Trump account for children born in 2025 and above. You can invest $1,000 on your child, which is our obligation as parents, is to make sure that our children are set up for the future for success, right? You put $1,000 on that account, and you can put up to $5,000 a year, and your employer can put $2,500 more, and that money invests all the way up into their 18. Every year you can do this because our retirement is going to probably end with us. Maybe you, maybe your next generation, and that's it. Nobody else. So he was like, oh, we got to do something for the future generation. Democrats said, nah, make them work until they die.
Yes.
45, listen, 40, only 45% of the American people, American workers, are in some sort of a retirement plan. The rest, they're going to work until they die. That's not fair. Where's the government in this? We're doing nothing to take care of our future generation, and that's where they don't want to vote. They don't want to vote because they feel neglected. They don't want to vote because no matter how they vote, nobody does anything. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. And I want to create regulations that make Congress work for the people. The people, no matter the color of their skin, sexual orientation, religious beliefs, social status, we need to work for the people. We're done with parties. It's 2026. Let's get on the game. Let's get on let's protect our children.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take unnecessary teachings from the school. Teach them scholastics. If you do an experiment when they're an adult, go to college. I'm going to promote trade school. I want people to know that they have an option when they go to trade school. Your trade school is going to find you a paid internship, and so is your college. They're responsible for that. You're going to take the money for the school and you're not going to find them a job. No, you have to now. That's what I want to create. I want to create a better America. But if I got to start, I'm going to start from here and then move up. I'm not going to start as a delegate. I want to start here. I have had plenty of experience. I've been in the military. I've been in the police. I've experienced life. I've experienced more than 90, maybe 95% of people have experience in this country, right? I've seen the worst of the worst in other countries that I've been in. I hear people over here saying, "Oh, America is racist. Oh, America is a country of slavery and stuff." Go somewhere else. Go any country you think is better than America. Go there. It's time for us to take care of our people. It's time for us to do a trading program where we bring people from other countries. Hey, look how great it is here. And they go back and tell their people and take people from here and send them over there and say, hey, spend a year over there, see how it is. And then come back, like that's what we do. So they can be like, yo, you don't want to be there. Because this is the best country in the planet. That's why nobody wants to. People that hate America won't leave America. I even had a person telling me, well, how am I going to leave America? I have no money and no way to get to another country. And I tell them all the time, man, illegal immigrants make it here from Africa.
That's right.
With no money. And they have businesses out there. You're just making excuses. You have no obligation to America. If you hate America so much, pack your stuff. We can't even pay your plane ticket. Don't come back. We need America is for people who loves it. I get it. It's the freedom of speech that grants you the ability to talk crap about our beautiful country. But if you really hate it, we don't need you here. There's somebody willing to replace you right now, willing to go through all the vetting, willing to go to whatever steps necessary to come here and stay and replace you. That's what we need. We need to turn this country into what it was and like have one working person in the house while mom is taking care of the children. We need to bring that nucleus of the family back into cohesion, man, because we have no stable homes anymore.
Yes.
Single parent homes. No, we have to start somewhere. And the best way to do it is by making Congress work.
That's right.
That's what I'm here for.
No,
Make them work. I'm sorry, I took too much of your time.
No, that was good.
Go ahead, ask me all the questions you want. I apologize.
Yeah, you brought out a good overview, and I think your personality came through, which is that's the key thing, because a lot of people are scripted, and that's a safe place for them because they're not comfortable and they don't want to take.
No, my political advisor.
But yeah, but people like authentic, and so yeah, that's good. So. We hit the 30-minute mark. We covered everything. We covered the debt, taxes, illegal aliens, how you're going to beat Bobby Scott, why you're running. Yeah, so we covered everything.
You want to hear the legacy of Bobby Scott real quick?
Yes.
Let me tell you something. I checked his page. Oh my God, this thing is so colorful, man. He experienced systemic oppression. His dad was, listen, let me just start from the beginning. First off, he's half Filipino, right? And he claims to be like the first African-American to be elected for Congress, right? Which he wasn't, right? Then he claims that he was a victim of systemic oppression. But he wasn't. His dad was the Surgeon General here in Newport News, right? I'm not familiar with his mom. His mom was like a teacher or something with the school district, right? But he had wealth. He went to Croton High School in Massachusetts. He went to Harvard University, and he went to Brown University. He went to the highest paid schools in that timeline. I mean, now it's Will Mary, I think. I don't know. But he was wealthy from the beginning. Then they started introducing him to the community with these barbecues and stuff. And the whole community was like, oh, that's Bobby Scott. Yeah, what up? And then they created this congressional district, and he ran for it. He was already popular. So he won, and he has been there ever since.
50 years.
Before that, he was a senator for Virginia. And before that, he was a what do you call it? A delegate. And with all of that school, he has zero to show.
Yeah.
That is his legacy. Like, a legacy is supposed to be something you leave behind for people to benefit from. Like, this is minus legacy. All nothing but bills that will hinder the country. Anyways, I'm sorry. That's it.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's true. And
no bills. Like
no
things.
bills.
No bills. I checked. It says he did this bill,
No
and then
bills.
when you research the actual bill, he sponsored it, or he championed it, or he revamped it, like he reintroduced it. And I'm like, well, but it says here that he has 270 plus bills that he introduced, and no, he never wrote it. He just like he either like sponsored or he did something with that bill, but he never wrote it.
Yeah, signed on.
Very shameful, man. Like 48 years in government, you have nothing.
Well, you could just describe all that he's doing in this campaign by just saying his initials, BS.
Right. And nobody knows him. Nobody. Nobody knows it. And again, this is not an attack on Bobby Scott, man. The man's 79 years old.
Yeah.
But if you have been in a government position for so long, you have to have something to show that you did. Like you only need 5-6 years to retire from Congress. Why are you there for 30, 33? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, and again, I'm not trying to make fun of him, but 48 years in government, that is a long time. Yeah, and again, we don't need term limits. We need productivity limits. Like, if you don't produce enough,
and this term limit will be the election. And
right, his term limit should be this.
And hopefully you can get it. You can get wide spread contact, and you'll have some events. Let me know about the events, and I'll have you come to my Tea Party meeting. Hopefully you can come next month, and then we'll be good. All right.
Yeah, we missed last time. We were in.
I know. That
we were far.
Important.
We were trying to find sponsors and stuff, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's too early into the campaign. We don't want to give you any money. We gotta wait." So it's okay. We're just waiting, and we don't have like a handful of signs. So, and everything is donated by our own team.
Yes.
Okay. Grassroots.
Okay. Well, this is a big year. This is a big year. Midterms. This is going to be one of this historic midterms. This is one of the reasons why we're spending so much time, and hopefully you get an idea wherever you are, even if you're not in the 3rd district. I mean, we had someone from the 7th district, but all of these campaigns are very important because they impact the nation, and they will impact our future. So just want to, and I wanted also to just reaffirm what the Democrats in Virginia are trying to do. These Democrats, this generation of Democrats, really bear no resemblance to the conservative Democrats that we had in the last century. So it's something to consider. So for Edwin and myself, I hope hopefully you have a good summer, a good week, and we'll talk to you soon.
See you soon.